This is Advanced Math 10.5 notes. That's Advanced Math, Unit 10, Lesson 5. And the title is Sketch Top Heavy. So last lesson we did bottom heavy and the same. This one is focusing on top heavy graphs. Now, we are going to add a piece to our list. We're still going to have D, VA, that's an H, HA, and which one are we adding to the list? SA. And what does SA stand for? Slant asymptote. So vertical, horizontal, slant. And we're still going to have the x-intercepts and the y-intercept. Okay, so we find the domain the same way. Now, what is the domain in this problem? All reals such that x cannot equal -1. I am going to factor to see if factoring allows me to reduce. Does factoring allow me to reduce? No, but I'm still going to find my vertical asymptote. What is the vertical asymptote? X equals what? -1. And I look for multiplicity because it's a vertical asymptote. And where do I find my vertical asymptotes? From the denominator. So that's where I look for the multiplicity. Do you guys agree the multiplicity is 1? Okay. How do we find horizontal asymptote? From yesterday's lesson or 2 lessons ago, we take the limit as x approaches infinity. That's for your horizontal asymptote. And you look at whether it's the top heavy, bottom heavy, or the same. What is it in this case? Is it top heavy? And top heavy was what? Does not exist. I am going to put D and E. Eventually, I'm just going to start putting none, but I'll put D and E for now just because that's what we had. So, I will tell you this. Slant asymptotes only occur when it is a top-heavy graph. I'm going to repeat that. Top-heavy function. Slant asymptotes only occur when it's a what? Top-heavy function. Is this a top-heavy function? Okay. And when it's a top-heavy function, what is your horizontal automatically going to be? Does not exist. So, horizontal asymptote and slant asymptote will never coexist. They'll never happen at the same time. Why? Because the only way to have a slant is it's top-heavy, and top-heavy means horizontal is D and E. Make sense? Okay. Even though they do not coexist or they do not happen at the same time, we still going to list them all. Just know HA or SA, one of them is always going to be none. You'll have verticals, but either horizontal or slant, one of them is going to be none. In this case, it's going to be horizontal because we're working on slant. Questions before I continue? Okay, I'm going to skip slant just for now because it is new. Go to x-intercepts, y-intercepts. X-intercept, you make your equation equal to 0. And all I care about is the numerator because I know the denominator is going to cancel out anyway. And I also know the denominator can't equal 0. How many intercepts do I have? 0 and what? Positive what?
1.
Positive 1. Now I do care about the multiplicity. And the multiplicity came from the numerator. With x-intercepts, does multiplicity always come from the numerator? Yes. Are they both 1? What does that mean for both of my intercepts as far as graphing goes? They're both going to be across. Okay, y-intercept, you plug in 0 right here. 0, times 0 minus 1, 0 plus 1. Is it 0? Yes. And I think I've said this before to you guys. If your x-intercept's over 0, your y-intercept's automatically going to be 0. That's still true. All right, I have a vertical at x equals -1. I have an x-intercept at 0 and +1. I'm going to plot those a little bit later. There's a reason why. And a y-intercept of 0. I'll plot these after. I'm going to do my slant first. How do we find slant asymptotes? Slant asymptote is found by using our favorite long division. Oh, I hear some complaining out there. Okay, slant asymptote we find by using long division. Okay, so I'm going to do that over here. I'm going to set up my long division problem. And when I use long division, I do not use the factored form, I use the standard form. So x plus 1 divides into x squared minus x. What's nice about this long division is we do not care about the remainder at all. Okay, and the long division is always quick on these. X times what is x squared? And then I distribute. We just finished this in last unit. X squared plus x, would you guys agree? Okay, then I subtract going down, subtract, cross out. Negative x plus negative x is not 0, it's negative what? And you can put a plus 0 at the end here if that helps. I'm going to cover and cover. X times what is negative 2x? Negative 2. Distribute. Negative 2x minus 2. Change your signs going downward. If I'm subtracting a negative, that's going to become plus. Subtracting a negative is going to become plus. First one crosses out as always. Anything extra is bonus. Nothing else crosses out though. What's 0 plus 2? Which means, can I go any further or is 2 my remainder? And what do I do with the remainder? Ignore it. I do not care about it. I'm not going to put plus 2 over x plus 1. Just ignore it. Okay, this is all I'm going to use. And I put that here for my slant. And it's still y equals, just like it was for horizontal. Y equals x minus 2. What kind of line is x minus 2? Is that linear? Yeah, we know how to graph it. The y-intercept's negative 2, and the slope is positive 1. So I'm going to go down 2, and a slope of up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. You could even go down 1, left 1. I'm going to connect those with a slanted dashed line. It's still dashed because it is an asymptote. Okay, any questions? All right. I am going to plot now my x-intercepts and y-intercepts. Okay, x-intercepts are 0, and 1, and they are both crosses, and my y-intercept is 0. Okay, everyone understand their intercepts? All right, like this one over here, I only have two pieces, the left side and the right side. Do you see that? Left side there was a top, right side there was a bottom. And this one, left side was the top, right side was the bottom. That's how this one worked out. But do you guys see there was left side, right side, left side, and top and bottom? Okay, same thing here. There is a left side, there is a right side, and there is a top and bottom. And I only have to do test values if my horizontal is 0. Is my horizontal 0 in this case? So I do not have to do a test value. Okay, I'm going to erase this, so do not draw it with me. My graph is either all above this slanted line here, like that, which means I would cross the x-axis, or itty bitty, not itty bitty, but smaller than that big piece, all below, which would be sandwiched right there. So it's either all above like this or all below like that. Is it ever going to be both of them? No, because it doesn't pass the vertical line test. Okay, right now I want you and your shoulder partner deciding. Now, when we're not using test values, we're using x-intercepts as our clue. So I'm going to ask you guys this before you discuss with your shoulder partner. Are there any x-intercepts to the left of that dotted line? Okay, so discuss with your shoulder partner. Is it all at the top or all at the bottom? And why? Also discussing why. Okay, all at the top or all at the bottom? Up or down? Why is it all at the bottom? Do you guys agree it's because there's no x-intercepts? Yes or no? Yes? Because in order to be at the top, I'd have to cross the x-axis, and I can't do that. There's no intercept. Okay, I didn't label it here, but this vertical asymptote came from -1, came from the denominator, which had a multiplicity of 1. Is that even or odd? Which means opposite direction, which means top or bottom? Top. And I have this x-intercept and this x-intercept to cross because they're both multiplicity of 1. So they're both going to be across. So I'm approaching here. I cross it. I come back up. I cross it. Do I have anything bringing me back down? No. So then I'm approaching the asymptote there. So left side was at the bottom, right side was at the top. And there were no intercepts down here, so I'm good. Questions? Okay. Number 2. Y equals x squared minus x minus 2 over x minus 1. Akash, you'll get it from Google Classroom. And we're crossing on number 54 on the second lesson. That goes for everybody. You guys saw that on lesson 10.5. We're crossing out 54. Okay. D va ha. Oh, forgot my saw. Va ha saw. Okay. Domain all reals such that x cannot equal. There's only one restriction. What is it? 1. Go ahead and factor. Is it minus 2 plus 1? Yes or no? And does anything reduce? Okay. Vertical asymptote, x equals what? X equals 1, and that came from the denominator. And the denominator had a multiplicity of 1, which means it's going to be opposite direction because it's odd. Horizontal, top heavy, bottom heavy, or the same. It doesn't matter which one you look at. Is it top, bottom, or same? Top, which means horizontal is what? D and E, which makes sense because if it's top heavy means there's going to be a what? A slant. So I'm going to do that work over here using the expanded form. X squared minus x minus 2 divided by x minus 1. X goes into x squared how many times? Or x times what is x squared? X, distribute x squared minus x, subtract going down, this becomes minus, minus a negative becomes plus. First set crosses out, anything else is just bonus. Does anything else cross out? Negative x plus x, does that cross out as well? So I'm left with minus 2. Can I go any further, or is that my remainder? Is this the remainder? Do I care about the remainder? This is all I'm going to use. Only thing is, I'm going to put x plus 0. You do not have to. There wasn't even a 0 there, but I'm doing it, and I'll show you and explain why once I graph. X-intercepts, I'm going to let you guys do that now. X-intercepts, plug 0 in for x, but you, I'm sorry, plug 0 in for y, but you only look at the what? Numerator, because the denominator can't equal 0. You end up with 2 x-intercepts. And they both have a multiplicity of 1. That's coming from the numerator. Anybody tell me what you got? Negative 1 and positive 2, and they both have a multiplicity of 1? Yes or no? Which means they're both going to cross. Y-intercept, plug in 0. The easiest place to plug it in is over here, because you get 0 minus 2 over 0 minus 1. What's your y-intercept? What's your y-intercept? Positive 2 or negative 2? Positive 2. All right, this is my x-axis, this is my y, and I have a horizontal, a vertical, I mean, at x equals positive 1, and the multiplicity for that was odd because m is 1, and then my slant is y equals x plus 0. What's my y-intercept? What's my y-intercept? That's why I put the 0 there, and then my slope is up 1 over 1 or down 1 over 1. Okay, so I am going to connect those dots with a dashed line because it is an asymptote. Okay, and my x-intercepts are negative 1 and positive 2, and my y-intercept is positive 2. Now, when you're focusing on the left side, use your intercepts as a guide. I have an x-intercept and a y-intercept there on the left side. I usually don't, but I do on this one. Does everybody see to the left of the asymptote, I have an x-intercept and y-intercept? Use those as your guide, whether it's going to be all at the top or all at the bottom. Where is it? Top or bottom? Why is it the top? Because of where my intercepts are. In order to be down here, I would need a y-intercept down here. Do I have a y-intercept down here? No. But in order to be up here, I would do that. And does that match my intercepts and what I have? Yes? Okay, odd is opposite. Is that top or bottom? I ended at the top, so opposite would be the bottom, and I have that x-intercept to cross. Do I have anything bringing me back down, or do I go up forever? Up, approaching, so it looks like that. Any questions on your beautiful graph?